Good afternoon, everyone. And this is Vinod representing Excel Snippet and iSelf Academy. It's been a while now. I'm trying to add a new video to our Excel Snippet YouTube channel. The last video that we saw is video number 9 on entering and editing a data. Part 2. In that, we saw how to work with the entering and editing a data using an auto fill and fill options, fill series options rather, and how to use a Power Query for importing that data. So in today's session, we are about to see video number 10, and in the video number 10, we'll see how to work to modify a data in a multiple sheet. And I'm about to use the copy, paste, cut options, and then few of the paste special options, how to move the data within the sheet and outside the Excel workbook to another workbook, and how to add a column, how to delete a column, how to add and delete a row, how to select a row, and so on. So if I want to add these data to our list, so I'm going to use the move data first. So let's see how to do that. So let me open our old data that I finally had earlier. So in this, I would like to move one of the data that I wish to take from this list. So probably I'll take, this data to the list. So I'm going to just right click this. Here, the moving of data can be done in two different dimensions. You can either copy paste the data from this sheet to another one, or you can literally move the data from this sheet to another one. Generally, people use copy paste, and the copy paste is one of the finest option and easiest option for many people. But again, if there is a break in the data, probably I may do a mistake when I use a copy paste button. So if you are going to go for the entire data to a brand new sheet, I preferably request you to use the move data options to the list. That's the best way to do it. So now I have two different Excel sheets here. I have an enter data and the modifying data. So I would like to move one of the data from the entering and editing data, or probably all these three sheets, to the next list. So I'm going to give a right click here, and then I'm going to say move or copy. And I'm going to move this from this sheet to the modified data sheet. Remember, if you are just using the move option, probably the data will be moved from this sheet to that sheet, but I want to retain in both the places. Then probably I'll use the create option in here. I'm going to say move this to the same way. I'm going to just move this data to the next file, and you can see that my earlier data is added. Now the second data will be also added. Now I'm going to move the import data to that sheet. I'll come back to this point, and I'm going to just move this data to that sheet. Now all the three sheets that I had earlier in my video number 9 sheet entering and editing data, now that's also available in my modifying data too. So now I've showed you how to move the data from one sheet to another with a copy retained in the older sheet, and we are having the brand new sheet also has the same data structure here. So now I just gave you an idea how to move the sheet within the list. So now if, for example, now if you can see that my data are all done here, and if I wish to copy and paste this daily and date to a brand new sheet, or I wish to keep the day alone to the new sheet. So I'm going to just copy this to some extent. I'm just showing a part of it. Then when I try to add a brand new sheet and try to paste them, it's going to show you the data wrongly. The reason why it shows the data wrongly is because all these data are formula based. So the previous cell was in formulae. Now when I copy paste that, it's going to give you a wrong answer. So this is how the copy paste sometimes works mathematically. The reason why is we didn't use the data properly. So let's see how to use this properly. So I'm going to just go back to the sheet again, and I've selected somewhere around 16 columns. So I'll just choose the same 16 columns in here. 16 rows in a single column. Forget about that. You just copy this, and when I come back to this paste special option. So I'm going to just give a right click here and I'm going to say paste special. And I can just tell the system to create this as a value and then give an OK. So now you can see whatever I see there, I'm going to see the same logic in here. So how do I compare these two, whether I did it correctly or not? To see that, I'm going to use logic in the view tab. And this allows me to just check out how I'm doing correctly or not. So I'm going to just add the new window option. And after the new window option, I will go back to the view and see side by side. You can see both the data. I'm going to just go back to my autofill series option. You can see whatever I've selected here, the same answer pops up on the left hand side of the screen. But again, the zoom percentage is different here. So I'm going to just raise the zoom. You can see that when I raise the zoom, automatically the next page auto adjusts it accordingly. So you can see that now both my pages are in 150% zoom. If I reduce this on one side, the other side reduces automatically. So I'm just readjusting this by using a mouse here. So this is the way we can compare it and see how the data works for us. Now I can do the same copy paste without using mouse. So what I can do is I can just give a page which will take you to the previous screen. I'll just zoom it out a bit. Then as usual, I'm going to select 16 rows in a single column, copy it, page down to the next sheet. I'm going to get these Alt E S V and then enter. So when I say copy, keyboard shortcut that I've used is Control C. And when I say paste special pop-up, I need a keyboard shortcut Alt ES. And if I want the values to be added, I'll press V. And I press enter will take me or it will convert my data input of the set. So we will do the copy, paste, and paste special option simply. In some situation, if you have a format to be copied, so you have a lot of things when it comes to a paste special. So let me take a paste special option for us, and I'll show you how it's going to work for us. So let me make this data viewable. So now I just move this and zoom it according to the list here. And now I wish to change our data to a better point, and I'm going to just uncheck the grid line so that you can see a plain blank data in here. So I'm just trying to do a lot of things in a list, which is not a proper way of doing it, but I am editing a data here, I'm modifying a data here. So the looks, the advantages, and the pluses, the minuses, the additions and subtractions. Whatever I do in my screen, I'm trying to record everything possible. We saw how to copy, we saw how to paste, how to use a paste special option, and we saw how to move a data. Now, when I go to paste special option, I have a lot of information. So now I want just this object to go to the next point. So I can just copy because there's an object they've added here. I'm going to copy, add a brand new sheet, paste it. You can see that that object comes in here. Complete. This is a copy paste normal. So if I do the same thing in another way around, let's say, just go back, I'm copying it, and I come back to this point, I'm going to say Alt ES, then it pops up the box here. Now the paste special shows a very different logic. The paste special earlier showed a tabular column when I chose a table. Now I'm choosing a picture. So when I choose a shapes and pictures, you can see the paste special option shows a very different logic. Now I can just paste this either as a PNG file or a JPEG file or a GIF file or a metadata, enhance the metadata, and so on. So I'm going to just use a JPEG file when I give an OK. It is saving the same logic, but I can save this particular picture as a JPEG functionality. So this is how we deal with our copy paste. Now, if I don't want this, I can just select the cell and delete it. If I'm adding a data, so now I've added a data here, so that's why I just chose this again. Now I don't want one column here, so I don't want the column which is on to the other list. So probably the fag end of the data, I don't need it. I don't need Y column until AB column. I don't want all of them, or the AD column rather, until this. I can either use a mouse here or a keyboard. So to use a keyboard, I'll place the cursor in any one of the column, or I can just leave the cursor somewhere else and just use an arrow mark to do it. I'm going to select this point. So I'm going to say Control spacebar, and I'm going to use a shift button to arrow down until the last line. If I don't want this, I'm going to give a control minus, which will remove all the data that I don't want. I've removed my columns. I can remove a range here. So I'm going to say select the first header, shift control arrow down, and then delete this. This is a range deletion. So this is how we deal with our range deletions. Hope you found these small tricks and tips which allows us to work better in Excel. Please do remember that when you are working with the original data, don't play around with the original data. Try to keep a copy of it and then use whatever the data that we have with us. If you take a duplicate copy of it, whatever you do as a mistake, or if you commit any mistakes in your data structure, you don't want to really worry about it because your data are safe, your original data are still remain good intact. So you don't want to worry much about it. So you can easily use it. Hope you enjoy this video. This has been all signing out from iSelf Academy, an Excel Snippet channel. This is your video number 10. I'm coming out with the next video where I'm going to deal with formulas. In the previous video, I promised to add a date and time functionality, but as I didn't finish this video, so I just started with this video and completed it today. Probably I'll be uploading this at the earliest, and we will be seeing the text functionalities, the numerical functionalities, data time functionalities in the subsequent 2 videos. I'll try to add them at the earliest, so you will be enjoying those videos soon. Stay safe, stay at home, and do the best that you can. Keep learning, update yourself. Change is permanent. This is Vinod, signing out from iSelf Academy again. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.